and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use oil pastels with the Sgraffito technique. Now I'm going to be working on an image from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm going to show you the entire process from beginning to end on how to create an image using Sgraffito. This is a really good technique for beginners to try out. I know that kids really enjoy this technique. If you are new to my channel, my name is Gemma. I create weekly art content, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my uploads. Okay, let's get straight into the Sgraffito. I'm going to get started on the very first step of Sgraffito drawing, and that is to put down my base colours. Now with this you can be quite quick and rough. You don't need to worry about blending them in with a piece of paper towel or anything like that. You want to just get your colours down on your actual piece of paper. Now because I'm going to be working on a Nightmare Before Christmas theme, I'm going to actually add in a really quick sketch so I know where I want my lighter colours. I want some other lighter colours down in this section because there are quite a few pumpkins and things like that down here in the image that I'm going to be working from. So I am being really quite rough with my oil pastels. I want a really nice covering of my colours before I then go on to the next step. So when you're doing this, make sure that your oil pastel is nice and thick and that you can't actually see any of that paper showing through. I have just put down a base of my different colours that I want to use. It looks a bit messy at this point, but it doesn't matter because we are now going to cover the entire thing and we are going to fill it in with a black oil pastel. Now I know this might sound a little bit scary, but you're just going to cover the entire thing and you will see in a little while what we're going to do with it. So for this technique you are going to want to find yourself something that is a little bit sharp. You don't want to use a knife, or you could use like the back of an exacto-knife. However, you want to get something that's not going to directly cut through your paper. So I have got this sewing unpicker, but you could use something else like a toothpick or something like that. And then you're going to use your tool to then scratch away the top surface of your image. So I'm going to just get in my main lines for my Nightmare Before Christmas image. Scratches away really easily. If I make a mistake, I can easily cover with my black oil pastel. So much like our reductive drawing that I showed you a few weeks ago, you can go back over with your material. So I'll link that video in the description box if you haven't seen that one yet. I thought this would be a really good image for it because it has got that sort of rigid edge to it from The Nightmare Before Christmas, so I thought this would lend itself really nicely to this technique, and I think that those little scratch marks will look really effective in this. Now I'm going to try and get the silhouette of Jack the Pumpkin in. Now I think this is probably going to be the very trickiest part of the entire piece because I need to make sure that I work in reverse and get that in. Now obviously he's not going to be all that detailed because I'm only working with this tool, but we'll see how it goes. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but considering I'm just using a sewing unpicker, I think it's alright. If you're doing this at home, you'll just want to make sure that you've got some areas covered because the oil pastels do tend to go everywhere because obviously you're scratching bits off, going to gather in little clumps, and you'll want to make sure you have somewhere to put them. Otherwise you're going to end up with little bits of oil pastel all over the place. So as you can see, I'm just holding my tool on an angle like that, so I'm not scratching like directly into the paper, I'm just scratching the very surface of the oil pastels, but it's enough to remove that oil pastel from my actual paper. What movies are you all going to be watching over Halloween? Give me some ideas on what to watch. Now I don't really like very scary horror movies, but I quite like animated films, so if you've got any good Halloween themed animated movies that you could suggest, let me know in the comments. I am a fan of like the older animated films, and films like The Witches, the original Witches, I always thought that was really good when I was growing up. Get some of those pumpkins in now. Now I want to try and retain some of those darker tones within my pumpkin, because the brightest part is obviously where the mouth and the eyes are within this pumpkin. I'm going to get a little bit of texture on this here, down the side, because it looks like it's got scratches and things like that all over it. Now you can try getting in some different textures with your Sgraffito. So I'm just doing little scratches in a scribble to get a little bit of texture in on here. So there you have it. That was my Sgraffito image of Jack the Pumpkin King from Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that this film is so iconic and I had so much fun creating this piece. This is one of the films that I always loved watching when I was growing up, and I still think it's a brilliant movie now. The Sgraffito technique is such a fun one for you to try out. Now you can do it with oil pastels. If you don't have oil pastels but you have regular crayons at home, you can use wax crayons for this technique as well. So maybe give it a go and let me know in the comments how you get on with your Sgraffito. If you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and also let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss one of my uploads. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.